But for more on the security situation in Idlib, Dr. Kerem Kinik from the Turkish Red Crescent joins us now in the studio. Thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World. So the last rebel stronghold in Idlib is anticipating an assault, and this might trigger another humanitarian crisis there. And you have set up shelters in Idlib. So what's the latest on the ground?
The situation is deteriorating, and before the crisis, Idlib were hosting 150,000 inhabitants only. Now, only in downtown, 1.5 million IDPs, entire Idlib provinces, 2.5 million IDPs living or suffering, and escalation of the hostilities carrying on from the regime side and between the parties, affecting to the innocent people in Idlib and people in fear, entire Idlib provinces. And the situation is so bad. There is no electricity, no utility services, no water, no protection, no governmental services at all. Even the escalation agreement, the violation of that agreement still carrying on from the regime side, and the air attacks also had to the civil, places, yes. And unfortunately the situation is so bad.
And how many shelters are there on the ground? I mean, are there enough for the civilians who are in Idlib right now? In
downtown, in one room, 3-4 families living together. Mm-hmm. Ex-inhabitants of the Idlib also hosting their relatives in their own the properties. But Turkish Red Crescent, we are providing regularly for 1 million IDPs in Idlib and entire Syrian the country, 2 million people. But a lot of makeshift camps inside Idlib, 400 makeshift camps inside Idlib, and 700,000 people living in bad conditions. We have our own camps in collaboration with the Afad in Idlib and Afrin and other Euphrates Shield Zone and regions, but it is really too difficult to protect their territories because of the violence.
And Turkey is the largest host country already with 3.5 million. And so if there's an assault, and which is anticipated, what would that mean? I mean, would there be another flow of refugees to Turkey, and is there enough refugee camps?
We are hosting 4 million refugees in Turkey. And on the borders, provinces, we have a lot of refugee camps. We have some spaces, but our objectives as the Kızılay to keep that people inside Syria in the secure zones near the Turkish border. So we have enough spaces for new flux, but we are not hoping that happenings. So we are calling all international agencies and the communities to de-escalate that tension inside Idlib between the hostility parties and the government regime and the fighters, because the civil innocent people affecting because of that tension. So we have capacity to provide shelter, humanitarian assistance, food services, health care services inside Idlib as Kızılay. We have hospitals, health clinics. We have 700 health workers working inside Syria, and we are running around 30 refugee camps inside Syria. So we will provide that humanitarian services from our own capacity from Syria.
So Turkey has done its fair share, but looking at the numbers, it's the most displaced people since the Second World War so far, since the Syrian war started. Is the international community doing enough?
Unfortunately, no, because all UN calls, EPALs also unfund at least half of that programs, and less funds also raising by the humanitarian agencies, and we have 40 active armed conflicts inside the world, a lot of neglected humanitarian crises like Syria. So inside Syria, we are almost alone. A lot of our eminent partners from UN agencies, from Federation, Red families, but very, very few income for the humanitarian programs for mid-term and long-term saving for their futures. So we need more awareness for this neglected humanitarian crisis, and we are calling all parties for solving that problems by political ways.
So more needs to be done. Thank you very much. We have to wrap it up here. Thank you very much for joining us here on TRT World.